Hey
Wait,
guys.
before we start, sorry.
I've already started it.
Just move on. It was not important at all.
Okay. Would anybody like to do a recap of the last session to get us started?
Definitely Emily, who was here the whole time.
I was totally here the whole time, and I did not take notes. I did listen to it, but I didn't take notes.
I can do it. Jump in if you guys have anything to add. Okay, so we started with Thrym unconscious, having been attacked by a dark entity of some sort, and he was not able to be healed. Zira was outside and caught a glimpse of the entity as it ran away after attacking Thrym, but prioritized saving Thrym over chasing. Rhodes attempts to heal after he removes the daggers, but it still does not seem to work. Priya came to kind of help and noticed there was a substance on the blade that appeared to be a poison that was making the healing not possible. Zira used Spare the Dying, which did stabilize Thrym, but it was not able to neutralize the poison. Then Wake came in and used his druid know-how to cleanse the poison from Thryn, draw it out of his body, and then he was able to be healed. Coming to, Thrym only remembered apparently pain and chaos, but that faded quickly. Warned from combat, though, we decided it would be ill-advised to pursue the entity in our current state, so we set
But
up.
then we did anyways.
Well, no, we didn't.
We certainly didn't take a long rest.
We took a short rest. We went into the kitchen and barricaded the door with a table. Had some conversations about what we would do next. Thrym took the time kind of think about the entity and identified it as a Dakin, which is an assassin from the Abyss. We're unsure if it was sent for Thrym or not. We don't know if he just got in the way. Wake takes some time to further inspect the sword that he recovered from the Paladin of Orta, and was curious about it because it seemed to prevent the abyssal creatures from melting away on death. With Thrym's help identifying the weapon, he identified it as an aspirant of Orta, blessed by the Paladin Order. In addition to being a +1 sword, it also does not allow the soul of a creature killed on the prime material to return to its home plane. So, like fey creatures, abyssal creatures, creatures from the hells go back to their home plane when they die. Normally on the prime, but this prevents that from happening. Let's see. It also seems that there are additional abilities involved with the blade, but they are really only relevant to a Paladin of Orta. Wake thinks someone else should probably take this sword because he's not really that well trained in it, and it just doesn't feel like it's a Wake thing. He usually turns into animals, so he offers it up, to which Zira accepts it. Upon taking the sword, Zira hears a voice, but nobody else does hear this voice, but it says something like, "We can do great things together." And she's just like, "Yeah, let's do it."
She's immediately creepier.
Yeah.
It was specifically, the voice said, "with this," right? Just
I
to add a
didn't
bit to
take
the
down
wording.
the exact words, but yeah,
Yeah.
something like that sounds right.
We can do a lot with this blade, my dear.
Uh-huh.
Damn, you did take notes. Why didn't you volunteer?
Yeah, what in the world?
I don't know. Anybody else can.
I didn't take. That's all I wrote down.
It's all-
You're doing a great
one
job, Gannon.
page with that in the middle.
Value
the-
out of it.
The others, kind of watching Zira wave the sword around and talk to it, are a little off-put by that, but we don't really push her on it. Priya and Wake have a little bit of an agreement on the side to kind of keep an eye on her, though, because it's weird.
Zira's pretty weird.
Yup.
Yeah, I mean, we're all a little weird. Rested up, we go to explore the rest of the house. And eventually, after running into a bunch of traps, we find our way to an upstairs room that is filled with more of that abyssal writing that we had found at Irwin's death. Is Irwin the one? Okay, yeah. More abyssal writing in a similar vein to what was written before, but there's just a lot more of it. We find a box that looks like it had a key in it that's labeled with the cemetery, the local cemetery. So that makes it our next point of interest. Thrym takes down some of the writing from this room that might look different in order to translate later. He did roll a natural 20 doing that. Yes, he did.
Oh shit.
He used my inspiration to do it.
I thought he fucked it up.
He did.
He did.
And then we not
yeah.
Glad you
Of course.
remembered when I fucked up, but not.
Of course I did.
I eventually succeeded.
I remembered the thing that was in character.
You play with pen, right?
Jesus.
So we head to the cemetery. We find a mausoleum, or the mausoleum is unlocked, and decide to go in. On entering the mausoleum, Zira immediately spots the entity at the far end of the mausoleum through the darkness with her incredible eyes,
Or specialize.
her special eyes. The creature,
Look with your special eyes.
the entity seems to be working on some sort of creature, which is on a pedestal of some sort or platform. She extends her vision to others, and we clumsily manage to stealth our way a little bit further into the mausoleum before we blow it, and a fight starts. The entity immediately hides and waits in ambush for us. The fight was pretty difficult. The enemy could go invisible and was engaging our ranged people in close combat, and it was making things difficult, as well as some learning opportunities with the flaming sphere and some other things. It was good though, and a challenging combat. People got knocked down a few times,
But they get up again to get knocked down
yeah.
again.
We come out victorious. The creature on the pedestal dies as well as this creature dies. It melts away. The creature on the pedestal does not, but the entity kind of just disappears when it dies. We're pretty messed up after the fight, so we decide to leave, even though there is more to explore. We're just too beat up to really deal with it. So we go back to the town to talk to Sergeant White at the Hushed Mug, or that's where we find him anyway. We turn the investigation back over to him, and we stay in the pub for lunch and drinks. Sergeant White eventually comes back and kind of congratulates us on a job well done, and tells us that the Burgmeister of the town wants to meet us and thank us as well. The Burgmeister comes in and is revealed to be the
douchebag.
sorcerer that we had encountered at the start of this whole thing on the road with some what appeared to be highwaymen, robbers, and some weirdos with masks. But he says he had nothing to do with that. So I can't remember whether we really rolled good insight on that, but
No.
yeah,
I think we rolled okay, and he was being sincere.
something
sorry.
like that.
I didn't roll good
Right.
ever.
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah,
me
you had a
too.
hard time. You had a hard time.
Penn also had a hard time. It was some bad dice.
You rolled really low the whole session. Yeah. The man introduces himself as Perseus Caldwell. He claims to have nothing to do with the events, blah, blah, blah. But he invites us to stay at his house for the night
Like a creeper.
in honor of our success. Everyone is super sus about that, but agrees to do it anyway. He asks, before he leaves, to talk to Priya alone for a moment. Because he's still kind of, I guess, into her or something.
Creep.
Yeah, he's a little creepy. And they have sort of a shared heritage, I guess. So he's interested in that. Obviously, mistrusting, Priya does go out and listen to what he has to say. Wake follows her in a spider form. And everybody's just like kind of watching out the window anyway.
Yep.
But he offers Priya a 10-minute fly spell. And she pretty much says like, "What do you want?" And he's pretty cagey about the whole thing. He's just kind of weirdo creeper. And yeah, he leaves. She gets fly spell. Wake turns back into Wake, and they end up sort of flying together for a bit with Wake on the
They
broom.
have an Aladdin montage, and
Yes.
A Whole New World plays in the background.
Yeah. Yeah, they have a little moment together flying around. And that is right where we left off.
That it is. So we will
Good job, Gannon.
pick up
Yeah.
right where we left off with Priya and Wake basically taking a lap around the
A
town.
Whole New World.
Yeah. But the rest of you are in the hushed mug.
The hug.
You have quite a few hours before sundown, which you are invited to the Burgmeister's manor, the Caldwells, for this celebratory dinner. What's the plan? What do you all do?
Would you say there is enough time to do stuff and have a long rest?
I don't think you could squeeze in a long rest.
So by
it's
several
like
hours, you mean
faster.
less than 8.
Less than 8, yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, I mean, it's midday.
I imagine I imagine this does constitute a short rest, though, at least, right?
At the
Oh, yeah.
very least.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to take that because... Well, actually, I didn't get hit because I didn't contribute at all in that fight.
By the way,
Never mind.
Flower, I used Fairy Fire.
I was counting. Yeah, this will. If I short rest, that'll reset.
Yes. So, Wake and Priya are outside, flying around. The rest of you are at the table, just kind of. I assume you all watched the encounter from the window.
Yeah, their
inside.
faces were pressed against the glass. They said so.
Oh, right. Fair enough.
Actually, I would like to like everyone else's might be, but I don't think Flower is watching. She's kind of just sitting at the table looking troubled. It's pretty clear that she doesn't think they should go to this place.
All right.
Well, I'm in the air.
Rhodes will kind of wander back over to her after after Creepo's gone, and he sees that Priya's good with Wake. Hey, Flower.
Hi, Rhodes.
He'll sit down.
I don't understand the motivation.
For going to the Perseus' house?
For his motivation. I don't...
I don't know either.
He tried to get Priya on his good side through antagonism, and that didn't work. So I guess now he's trying to do it with flattery.
Maybe
But
he's.
I don't know
he's
why his goal wouldn't be the same, whatever that is.
Well, we know who he is now, and maybe he's just afraid that we'll tell people that he's a no good guy.
I don't think a man like that is afraid of much.
Yeah.
He behaves... He behaves a little like Seneschal. Like he's above reproach.
Yeah.
And here in this town, it seems to be.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing that's bothering me too. We killed that weird creature in the mausoleum, but what made that creature come around?
I don't know.
That sort of thing doesn't just pop up, does it?
Not unless something's going on. I
So-
wonder, I think if Thrym can figure out what those runes say, that might help us a lot. Understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Do you
Huh.
think Perseus is maybe involved in...
Perseus.
Perseus, sorry.
Perseus is somewhere else.
I don't know, man. I wasn't here yet last session. Leave me alone.
You're very cute, though.
Do you think he's maybe involved, like... We know that he's bad news. Would he have summoned it for some reason?
I don't know, but we're gonna be in his house. Maybe we can.
Maybe.
Maybe if we can get a moment, we can do some investigation. Try to find. Oh, I don't know. Could be dangerous.
Probably. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. I think he's trying to throw people off his scent, maybe. You know, hire the mercenaries to do some dirty work. And we saved the town, and mayor hired us to save the town, and
then he threw us a party.
Yeah, but if it's him the whole time, no one would believe him. No one would suspect.
Yeah. Well, staying at his house, we might get a chance to mess it up for him. That's all I can say, really. I'm not too comfortable with it myself, but I mean, we're gonna be here, and he can't really kill us. I mean, people know where we are.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Anyway, we'll look to see what we see.
Yeah.
Is Zira within earshot of this conversation?
Oh yeah.
Sure.
yeah.
The flower's not being
Okay.
like...
Unless you all just are staying at the window, continuing to look at Priya and Wake fly
No,
around.
Zira's been sulking because remember she died twice. She's all pissed off at herself.
Oh.
That's true, you did say that.
Yeah.
Maybe Thrym
Mhm.
should do something about that.
But yeah,
As the murderer.
you could probably be in your shot
Okay.
if you wanted.
It's not like he actually gave us an option. He just kept bugging us until we said, fine, we'll go. That's why
Yeah.
we're going. It's not like any of us want to go. He just didn't give us the option not to.
Well, we can decide not to.
I mean, we told him we'd go, but yeah, you're right. We could totally just ditch.
We didn't sign a contract about it.
Exactly. Want to just ditch? Let's
the opposite.
ditch.
It's the opposite. They signed it. He signed a contract with us, but he hasn't given us anything. So that's the only reason is to because out of character he didn't pay us at the end of the session, right? No, did he? He gave us a treasure chest.
As you kind of your eyes flit over the table, there is a chest on the table that he deposited right there.
Okay, Flower will open it and see
Okay.
if it matches whatever they laid out in the contract.
Okay. You see a bunch of platinum stacked
Okay.
in the chest. Well, it's mixed platinum and gold.
How much total?
2,400.
Wow.
2,400 platinum?
No,
in
God,
gold.
2,400 gold.
Can you imagine?
I
We'd be like, all right, we're quitting.
Right. So we're 400 gold each then.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put that in my pocket right now.
Is there anything about it that seems off in any way? Like-
Make an investigation check.
Alrighty.
It's all soul coins.
Oh God.
A shitload of
He
souls.
is bad news.
You sift through the coin, looking for anything out of place or a nefarious within the chest or on a certain coin on the bottom of this chest, and you find nothing. You're pretty certain it's just gold. It's just money.
And also, for good measure, Thrym takes a Scrooge McDuck dive into the...
Into the,
And
the
you saw
into
that
the
big of
That
a
Family Guy episode, you just break your bones.
into the the foot size chest. Just
Yeah, no.
okay.
He's wee.
Fair.
Oh my god. Not that we. So we should all add 400 gold then?
Greg was.
You can, yeah.
Okay.
I sure did.
Okay.
I'm gonna do that right now. So we can be done with it.
Allah holla get dollar.
Okay.
As you look through the chest and kind of sort out all the money, setting aside 400 for Priya and Wake.
I've already added it.
You'll get it soon enough. You're flying around right now. It's
I've
at
already
this
added
it's at this point. You see 4 of the Amber Guard in a single file come down the stairs. You see, kind of looking up, the door where Erwin was staying, his room, has been cordoned off for the time being, and their investigation or whatever they were doing up there is done. They all just kind of give you a appreciative nod as they exit the hushed mug, and they seem determined to go to the other site where Sergeant White is having an investigation on the crypt.
We did tell them not to press too far, right? Because we hadn't looked through it all.
Yes, you did, and they're
Like
Sergeant
there could be
White.
traps and murder and death and stuff like that.
Sergeant White has been made well aware of it due to your insight. But with that, we'll switch over to Priya and Wake as you're flying about. Do you fly, like, do you just fly around the Hushed Mug, or do you fly around the Harkmire? Where do you go?
You wouldn't go too far because, this is not familiar territory for either of them, but,
Yeah.
she'll utilize her 10 minutes of bliss, begrudging bliss, because she was mad that he was the source of it.
All right.
Begrudging bliss.
Begrudging bliss, and, she'll do flips and tricks, and because she's really literally in her element, and maybe trying to impress Wake a little bit. So I'll roll like an acrobatics.
Okay.
Oh, not great. 10. She's in her element. Average.
Well, it's not your spell, so That could definitely be a factor. Not used to that sort of flying. But is there any conversation you'd like to have in this moment?
Nothing that need screen time. She'd probably chat or laugh or encourage him to try new things,
Okay.
unless he has something he wants to say.
I think he's more concerned about the fact that he's sitting on a broom very high. The ambient atmosphere is not something he can swim in, so he's high off the ground and not super comfortable about it, but he is enjoying it. He's just careful and concentrating.
Does Wake just like put the broom between his legs and then just like breaststroke through the air?
No, he's not an idiot. He follows
We should.
Priya around.
I
Okay.
thought that was his whole thing, was that
He
was.
did that when he was just. Oh well, he's not.
He has a crazy
moron.
high wisdom score.
Uh
He does recognize that he's not, in fact, swimming right now.
huh. All right. Well,
Are you telling me he's not brain dead?
I am. He's not actually challenged.
the 10 minutes goes by far too quickly. And you kind of feel the spell fade.
She will touch back down on the ground and wistfully sigh. Should we go back? See how our team is doing?
As Wake dismounts and he hands the broom to you, he says, "That was nice. Aye, probably. And who knows what they're up to now? We've been away for a minute.
What if they were all dead?
I'd be concerned.
I guess we should check on them.
Perhaps.
Are they dead?
No, they are not dead.
Whew.
They're all sitting,
A real
talking,
Schrodinger's cat.
sorting out the gold and platinum on the table. And as you go to enter, you see 4 Amber Guard come out of the hush mug before you enter.
Well, we're still going to that slimy bastard's house, right?
Yeah, I guess.
We don't have to, but I suppose. she
Well,
kinda
what
looks
better
at-
chance do we have to see what the fuck is up with him?
I can't help but to feel like I want to know more.
Feels like a trap to me. She looks kind
I
of up
guess-
at Priya and says, I think he wants you to owe him something.
Well, I don't feel obligated to owe someone anything. In general. Whether they want me to feel that way or not. So I'm not too concerned about that.
Flower kind of looks at her blankly.
Sounds fake, but okay.
Yeah, exactly,
Yeah,
exactly that.
Prita is not burdened by a cultural stigma for deals and contracts, so she just kind of shrugs. Obviously he wants something from us.
From you, in particular.
I don't know about that.
You're the
Or
one he's
maybe-
been chasing this whole time. Every
Maybe
time
I'm
we
just-
find him.
Trying to ignore that fact.
And
To what purpose? Is
Yeah,
ignoring it helpful?
It makes me feel better. But I suppose that's not actually helpful.
It's your blood that he likes. The magic in it, right?
She makes a face. I don't know. I don't know what his deal is.
He said that you were the same.
We both have scales, but I don't know what I don't know what that means to him. I've never met anyone else like me.
Hmm.
And it's not like we're not the same color, so I doubt we're literally related.
But you have some things in common. And he thinks that you're oppressed.
He did mention that with the blood test, but nothing terrible has happened so far because of that test, so maybe he's over exaggerating.
Maybe so. Regardless, I think we should all be on our guard tonight.
Oh yes. I'm
Yeah,
not arguing that.
Absolutely.
He's obviously up to something.
Maybe we
But
should
we won't
check in
know
with the
until we
chapter.
explore. That's a good idea. How do we do that?
Well, I would, but the stone only works once a day, right? Is that right? Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Didn't you
used-
do that? Was it yesterday that you checked in? Or was it?
No, just this morning.
Oh,
I know.
Yeah, it's been a
Erwin
long
only
day.
died this
Right.
morning. It's been quite a long day.
See, the
but
problem
Feels
with
like weeks.
the problem with going
No.
tonight to the dinner is that I don't have much left to me.
Yeah,
So-
me neither.
Hopefully nothing
Aye.
too bad happens.
Well, I think we should be safe. People know where we are. If we all disappeared, that would be pretty strange. I don't think that's what he wants. More people looking in on him.
Yeah, I think the party has some different aim. I think it seemed like he wanted to impress us.
He's doing a terrible job.
Or
I'm
make
not
us
even-
think he's not what he is.
I think so.
His morals seem questionable.
Yes. That's a good way of putting it.
Yeah, speaking purely selfishly, I'm just interested what he has to do with those masked guys. I don't know.
I don't think that's selfish. He was with a group that was accosting innocent travelers.
Yeah.
That's not selfish. Whether
I think they were innocent, but I don't think they were random.
even worse. Well,
I
I
don't-
actually don't
I
know.
w-
Maybe if he was
I
just
wanna
randomly
know-
attacking people for bloodlust, that'd be worse. But
He doesn't. I thought so, but he doesn't seem the type now. If he's been making a ruse this whole time, and really been in control of this town, then if he resorted to violence, what was it that they burnt in that cart?
evidence
Of something.
of his true
maybe.
purpose. But we don't
Maybe.
know. We can't know unless we do a little investigating.
And why was he at the house where Reffy's safe house?
Because he obviously knows more than he's letting on about us.
I mean, what was even going on there?
I don't know.
Yeah.
But like, is it our job to know this stuff? Can't we just like not go? If we're all this, nervous about and uneasy about going, like, do we really need to know all this?
Well, the thing about
I
that
mean,
is
we've
it's
done
clear
our job
he's focused
for.
on us, so he knows more than he's letting on about us. Like
I don't know.
Trim was targeted.
Curiosity killed the cat.
But
I've never heard
satisfaction
that
brought
phrase.
it back.
I've never heard that phrase.
I have.
If Trim
Freddy
was
said it.
almost assassinated, obviously there's something personal going on. If that was him, he might try it again with Trim or with one of us.
It's
I just don't think we're going to get another invitation into his house. But I also think he knows that.
I'm with Pri on this. I think we should go and see what it's about. But if we can come up with a plan beforehand, I think that would
That's the hard
serve us
part.
well.
You've been quiet, Wake. What do you think?
I don't like it. But whatever we're doing, if we're doing it as a group, whether it be a bad idea or a good idea, if we do it as a group, perhaps good can come of it regardless. So if we're going, we're going, and we're owning up to it and committing.
All right, I'm in.
I'm in.
We can all agree he's up to something. We're not going in blindly, we'll be careful. At the very least. It's unfortunate that we have several hours to wait. So I guess
Well, I don't know about unfortunate. I'm gonna take a little nap.
that's true.
It's at this point where you mentioned nap. There, the door of the hush mug opens, and quite a few individuals from the town of Harkmire enter. Simple folk, farmers, workers of the farm, or the farms surrounding the area, and they seem to approach your table right away with a, well, make an insight check.
Do my best,
11.
buddy.
Yep.
Go 6.
17.
Less than 11.
Sierra did good too.
All right. It's pretty easy to see for all of you. The smiles on these farmers and these common folk, their faces and the smiles, you read appreciativeness. The smiles seem grateful, and the first farmer comes up to the table, a middle-aged human man, kind of dusty and dirty from the morning's work, but he approaches the table. Oh, hello. You must be.
Good eye.
You must be the group that handled the town's problem. Yes.
Yeah, that's us.
And you see behind him, like, a bunch more common folk come into the hush mug.
It's really no problem.
Well, my name's Harold, and I just wanted to, from the bottom of my heart and everybody else here of Harkmire, we just want to thank you and shake your hand, if that's all right.
Oh, shit. Yeah. And he offers his hand.
And with a polite smile, he'll shake your hand, and
Yeah.
he'll start basically this group,
A meet and greet.
Yeah, this meet and greet group of farmers and common folk. Go around shaking your hand or giving you a pat on the back.
Rhodes will stand up and politely greet everybody. Yeah.
How do you all react to this?
Priya's uncomfortable, but she smiles awkwardly, politely anyways.
Thrym
Benevolent
will,
confusion.
despite exhaustion, will stand proud and shake everyone's hands. And insist that it was nothing.
All
Sierra's pretty upset, but she's gonna pretend she's not and be as cordial as she can to everybody.
As cordial as Zira is capable of.
Yeah, exactly.
If
Flower-
you'd like, you can make a deception check to try and hide that. But Flower?
I think she kind of like hangs back. Like, I don't know, we're all kind of still around this table. I don't think she gets up right away. She kind of like watches with interest with her head tilted for a minute. And kind of like is watching the people that are more sociable, like Thrym, and sort of seeing, and Rhodes, and sort of seeing how they react, and then eventually she kind of gets up and follows their lead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So Rhodes is like really getting in there with people and like asking, like,
well, how your family's taking it? I know it's hard with all the horrible things going on and
things like that.
You see this halfling woman with a little halfling girl that's kind of like very shyly attached to the hip. Oh, we're doing just fine. I don't know what the town would be if you all didn't come along. All of you are very exotic. Where do you all come from?
Oh, all over, really. I have a couple of people from different countries, and a good number of us. I'm from the plane of Earth, so a whole nother dimension, I guess, if that makes sense. And we've got a water one, and he points over at Wig, and an air one over there.
Wick just waves.
Get it? Waves.
You, 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 you hear
And
that?
she's from the Fey Wild. Have you ever heard of the Fey?
Oh, you hear that, Twyla? And you see the little girl just kind of like shyly like smiles and waves to all of you.
Flower will lean down to the little girl, whom honestly she seemed more interested in watching of everyone, was more interested in watching the kids anyway.
Mhm.
And will kind of lean down and say, "Have you ever seen a pixie before?"
No.
Well, I can't show you a real one, but they look like this. And she'll kind of hold her hands a little bit apart, and she'll cast Minor Illusion for the first time. And a little pixie will start kind of like dancing around in her hands and playing the panpipes.
You see the little halfling girl's eyes just light up with wonder and excitement at seeing this illusion in your hand and the dancing pixie. And after a good, 20 seconds of just watching the pixie, she looks up at her mom, and mom looks back and she says, the mom nods, and the mom speaks up to all of you. Well, Twyla here is really good at making bracelets. If you all would accept a gift.
Oh yeah, friendship bracelets.
And
A gift?
yeah, so the little halfling girl, has like little like flower bracelets, basically, kind of intertwined daisies of sorts, and she starts handing them out one by one to each of you. Um, for the guys, they're a little bit small and tight. But if you'd like to wear like a flower bracelet, the Twyla hands them out.
Oh yeah.
It'd be illegal not to. It was given by a child.
Yeah.
um,
Oh, I can't just accept this for free. He'll give the girl a gold.
Yeah. Flower will do
Here you
something
go.
similar. You said it was like a daisy?
yeah, kind of like wildflowers, basically.
She says she'll take it and ask the little girl to fasten it to her wrist and say, "Today my name is gonna be Daisy."
You see, she kind of like she's very excited about that. But
You can change your name.
eventually, all you go through about 30 or so people that are just grateful for your presence and your work that you've done here. And at the end of it all, the first farmer who greeted you all and asked if it was okay to shake your hand, Harold, he steps up. Once again, thank you, all of you, for helping out and doing what's right. Not many people these days do what's right. So, your drinks are on us tonight. And he kind of places a coin pouch on the table.
I mean, aren't the drinks on the government?
They are, but they don't know that.
Yeah, let's mug these
Also, we're
peasants.
not staying tonight.
Did we say we were sleeping there? I can't remember. Are we
I thought
sleeping
we were
at?
just going
Yeah,
out for
we
dinner.
said we were staying here for the evening.
Yeah, but
Wait.
we're gonna stay the night at Perseus's house,
Are we staying
That's
the
what
night, or are we
I'm-
just
or,
doing
or
the
That's
just
what
is
I'm
that just
wondering.
dinner? Or is
He-
that just
I
dinner?
can't remember.
I
Someone
thought it
help.
was
he
just
did.
dinner.
He did just say dinner.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
I was gonna
Yes.
say.
All right.
But he did ask if you would stay another night in Harkmire to have
That's what
dinner.
it was.
Yeah.
That's what it was. He wanted us to stay another night to probably kill us. He's
Yeah,
a fucking psycho.
you can assume what you
I'm
want.
gonna.
Um, at the end of it all, it takes about like a good 45 minutes to handshake with all these people. And it is getting into early afternoon. So, with the remaining 4 or 5 hours that you have left till dinner time, what's the plan?
I don't think there is a plan. Unless
I
anyone
think-
wants to have a plan.
I think we are mostly sleepy from our big day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Our obscenely long day. Priya is gonna fly up to the roof and she's gonna nap in the sun there because she can just do that now.
Okay. It is
That's
a
excellent.
particularly sunny spring day. So more than welcome to do that. Is everybody just taking a afternoon siesta? Or
Yes.
Grim is
Yes.
gonna try to find this magic shop that he
The
never
magic
got
shop?
around to visiting.
magic
Last time
like
they were
3
messing.
buildings in this town. I
Uh,
doubt there's a magic shop.
Wake is taking a short rest in the form of a dire wolf at the door of the tavern.
Okay. All right. Gideon is a little surprised by that, but he just waves it off.
I was like, who's Gideon? And then I realized it was our Irwin Light.
The tent.
No, yeah, right. Yeah. I keep getting messed up by that too.
No, Gideon is the guy who keeps serving Thrym whiskey.
Uh-huh.
Here-
Yes.
He's
yes,
the
yes.
hero of the story.
May
Right, of
I?
course.
Is there a way? And it's totally cool if the answer is no. I am working on proficiency in this poisoner's kit. Can I mess around with my poisoner's kit for a couple of hours
Sure. Yeah.
during this downtime?
Yeah, you can.
I imagine that I'm also working on the resilient feat, but I imagine that would be way too much activity and jumping around. Flowers needs to do something more low key.
You said poisoners get, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I believe someone mentioned about collecting some of the poison that
That
put
is
down.
that is why I was thinking about it. So I was thinking if I can mess around with that and try to
Yeah, I'm sure
try
somebody
to
grabs
figure
some.
out. Yeah,
'Cause
try
we were
to
thinking
figure
about
out.
getting an antidote if
Yeah.
we needed to.
And I don't have proficiency yet, so I'm not gonna I don't want to waste the poison or anything. But I want to just try to. Flower spend some time sort of thinking about it and trying to break down its compounds and figure out, kind of extrapolate what. She is proficient in nature, so try to extrapolate what stuff might have made this and what it might actually do. I think she was low key. She wasn't there that session, but she was really freaked out by the fact that he could be healed. Without the restoration. So I think that how many hours did you say we had? 6?
About 4 or 5.
About 4 or 5. Awesome.
Yeah. So you can spend your time just kind of trying to break down this poison and figure out what it is, where it comes from. This would be definitely a nature check
Okay.
to do so, and we'll resolve that. I believe Thrym said first he would like to go to a shop in town.
Yeah,
Shoppy.
I think last time before he found rest in peace. What's his face?
Irwin?
Irwin.
Sorry, he's not as cool as Gideon. Yeah, before that he was looking for a shop so he could summon Hugin again.
Okay. The general store or like the just general. Yeah, it's a general store. It's the Hometown Outfitters that
Oh my
you
god,
would
they have
need
an
to.
Urban Outfitters.
Yeah, that you would need to go to see if you could find the components for your fine familiar.
I have the components. I just need a brass brazier.
Oh, yes.
You would have that on you, wouldn't you? If you had the components.
Carrying around a brass brazier?
I don't know, bro. You're
It's
gonna have one anyways now.
you could have one. You can definitely go buy one. That's totally fine. If
Oh, I
you
thought those were like
want to role
huge.
play that out. But
Variable size.
a brass brazier. Okay.
A little brass pot. Why would you need a big one?
In my mind, it was like a huge fiery thing.
No, it doesn't.
Like
It's like
bonfire
the
plate.
size. It's like the size of a cereal bowl, basically.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I feel like Thrym could carry around one of those.
No,
Okay.
it would break his little back.
Yeah, have you seen his strength score? Clearly he can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
Like
choose to
emaciated.
ignore it.
Well,
yes, you
uh,
do.
you can have one on you if you want, or if you want to go to the Hometown Outfitters and buy one, that's totally fine too. It's up to you.
If I were to have one on me, can I have paid for it? And how much gold would it be? Because I want to be fair here.
Well, you've cast the spell already, so it wouldn't be any gold to you.
Oh,
You
got
would already have the components.
He just wants to give you gold.
I
For some
mean,
reason.
if
A
you need to
crazy
buy the
person.
component, like refresh the components, you can take the gold out of whatever it costs. I believe it's 100 gold.
Actually, it's 10 gold.
10 gold.
But-
Okay. Yeah.
But
So
I
go
will
ahead and
definitely
take
be doing
out
that.
10 gold, and you can spend an hour to bring back Hugin, I believe.
Yay!
Anybody else not taking a nap during this time?
Rhodes is not taking a nap.
Okay.
He's just gonna go around looking for rocks. Nothing crazy. Obviously, he already knows there's nothing amazing around here, but just little things. Anything that he doesn't currently have on him, or things of interest.
So
He's just hobbying.
so you're walking, taking a walk around town.
Yes, he's going around town.
Okay.
Bring it around town.
All right. So
Say hi to people as he's walking around.
just being generally friendly.
Yeah. And every once in a while, he'll stop, just start like digging into a side of a hill or something.
Gotcha. Yeah. Sorry, give me a moment. My headset is dying.
Weakling.
Rhodes actually wouldn't even benefit from a short rest.
Yeah, neither does Priya.
I have nothing
Get
I
my
get
stuff back into a
on
long
a short
rest.
rest other than health, and I'm full. So.
C'est la vie.
Yeah.
I, meanwhile, am a warlock, and I'm fine.
You little shit.
I've never played a warlock before. I am seeing the
Warlock
utility.
is my favorite class personally. Like, if I was a class in D&D, I'd be a warlock.
Yeah, it checks out.
I would 100% call my patron daddy. It'd be great.
Yeah, that also checks out.
Yeah.
He must have lost his charger.
He's just charging it all now.
I'm back. I just.
Hooray!
I'm trying
What are
to
you
pull
eating,
up
Simon?
some things here.
Nothing. I can hear you, bud. What you snacking on?
Tortilla chips
A snack of tea.
and guac.
Tortilla dips.
Sounds itchy.
Yeah, for you.
Itchy? That is generally not a word I've heard to describe tortilla chips.
She's allergic.
Oh,
to
To tortilla?
guacamole.
'cause I guess if you have gum disease.
Oh, I was like, what? Who's allergic to tortilla chips? Yeah, guacamole makes sense. Is it the guac or the mole?
It's the avocado.
Aguacate.
Like super allergic. I have to carry an EpiPen around with me.
Oh, that is
Damn,
allergic.
Okay, real allergic.
Just in case
Sucks
an
being
avocado
from
approaches you on the
California
street.
and Hispanic and not being able to eat avocado, let me tell you.
That
Echo's
seems
sister is
Ouch.
allergic to lime, so
Yeah.
I think she
Oof.
gets
I just-
it.
That,
We just
yeah,
call it
okay,
Sin would
that's-
die.
I would die. I live off of lime.
That's funny.
My eyes opened so wide when you said that.
So she can't have a lot of Mexican food because it's just interlaced with lime spritzes.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
yeah.
use it
Even
for
a little bit of
flavoring a
lime.
lot.
Yeah. Vietnamese food also has a lot of lime in it.
Yep.
Greek food. Lots of food has a lot of lime in it. And like it's something that a lot of people don't list on their ingredients because it's such like a just a little dash of it.
Okay. So Rhodes is going out to just travel around the town.
Be assassinated.
There you all are.
Oh, maybe.
Anybody else going with him?
He dies alone.
nope. Flower is doing.
Just like Bertrand Bell.
oh
oh, shit.
God.
Oh,
I'm gonna get Bertrand.
yeah.
Get birded.
No, the Werther's originals.
Such a funny fucking joke.
All right. So, is there
Rim might
anything?
meet up with him, like, about town, but
Okay.
if it makes sense for the timeline.
Well, yeah, Thrym is kind of going around out into the town as well, but yeah, I don't think we're on the exact same path, but we might cross paths at some point.
Okay.
Just he follows you like, get away from me.
um, it's
Thrym, after summoning Hugin, just kind of sends Hugin following Rhodes.
the town of Harkmire is small, to say the least. Not many buildings within the town. Like you see, most of it is just like residential, and there's only maybe two prominent shops that you see. One of them being the hometown outfitters, and the other being the Ember Heart Forge. And those two shops are probably the most notable here. So, you get a lot of small town vibes. And now that you have done something for Harkmire, everybody is just smiling, waving. Their, children pointing at you, pointing you out with their parents close by. Look, 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 look. Those are the adventurers that saved us. And it's a lot of that. Nothing. Well, you're trying to find. What are you trying to find? In
Roads?
Yeah, like in.
I don't
Be a
have a
little-
specific rock, but there's a shit ton of rocks. There's like a million. There's like 10,000 different types of rocks. So he's just looking for something he doesn't currently have.
Okay. I'll say in one of the like brick walls on the outskirts of the town proper, you do spot an anomaly, like kind of wedged in between two stones in the wall, a kind of like a limestone shale type rock.
Okay.
It looks like kind of like layered and flaky and like I mean it's shale, so
Yeah.
it's pretty.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, he will. It's between two bricks.
Yeah, it's kind of wedged in there.
Try and pry it
Isn't
out.
it a book between two bricks?
I don't think so.
Okay.
You're nonsense.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a strength check.
Strength. You mean athletics?
No, strength.
Just a straight strength.
Yep.
Okay.
You break off a little piece of the limestone. Most of it is still stuck in
dang
the
it.
wall, but you got like a little palm-sized chunk of it.
Eh. Well, this'll be good enough. Kind of tuck that into a
You
crack on
broke
his
him
arm.
in half, you monster.
Put some rocks
Rocks
in your
break.
rocks.
It happens.
Other than that, it's a nice, peaceful walk.
Yeah. You'll stop and watch people, farmers tilling the fields and just people doing things around the town. It kind of reminds him of some of his times when he was young and he got to be out on his own in towns just watching people.
Yeah. All right. I assume let's see. Thrym, are you doing the same? Just kind of walking around town? Or are you more focused on going to the general store?
I think Thrym would be more focused on getting Hugin back up and running, and then maybe moving back towards the end.
Okay. Yeah. You take a dip into the Hometown Outfitters, a pretty sizable general store. You see behind the counter a very elegant elven woman with silver blonde hair, kind of braided up a little bit, that flows down past her shoulders. She's wearing a pretty nice, green dress, and she greets you with a smile. Welcome to Hometown Outfitters. How can I help you?
Hello there. I was just in the market for some materials. Do you have things for summoning rituals, that kind of stuff?
Summoning rituals. I believe I do. What's the spell you're trying to summon?
I'm trying to find me familiar.
Okay. I believe we have some of the components for that. How many castings for this spell would you like?
I think 2 would suffice for now.
2. All right. And she sets to work compiling the components for 2 castings of Find Familiar. She packages it all up and she says that'll be 20 gold.
All right. That's well cheap. And I'll hand over the 20 gold.
She takes it and with a smile, she slides over the package to you. And she asks, is there anything else you would like, or anything in particular you would like to find?
While I'm here, you wouldn't happen to have anything of a more magical origin?
I have a few things that are just commonly magical. A cloak that, well, it can change to any style that you would see fit. A cloak of many fashions, as they would call it.
Oh, that sounds well fancy.
All right.
Any chance I can try it on?
Sure. I also have a cloak of billowing, and uh, well, a fishing pole that can fish by itself.
Oh, that sounds very useful. Maybe
It
for
can be.
people more inclined to fish, I suppose.
Well, you look the intelligent type. I'm sure you could figure it out.
Why, thank you.
She's hitting on
Uh,
you. Land it.
and she presents this beautiful, like billowy blue cloak, and sets it onto the counter. This is the cloak of many fashions. Um, this normally goes around 100 gold. Uh, this, and she presents another kind of like darker blue cloak. This is the cloak of billowing. These normally go for 75 gold. And she sets a fishing pole with a bunch of runes on the handle. Uh, this would be the pole of angling. Um, this also goes for 100 gold.
So, tell me about this first cloak.
Yes?
Is it are you able to change it into any appearance?
Any appearance. Um, within a few seconds, you can change to any style, color, or quality of this particular cloak.
Oh dear.
So you can have a nice silk cloak that's really fancy, or you can have something that's really like tattered, or just plain linen.
And the size of this cloak, would it be able to encompass Thrym as a whole?
Oh yeah.
And can it change size as well?
Uh, would you like a demonstration?
Oh, please.
She puts the cloak on, and right now she uses a bonus action to change the style of the cloak to a more like kind of like like a shawl kind of thing with a hood. Um, it's not very fancy. It's like made of linen, kind of a little bit frayed at the edges, and she makes it brown. And then with another bonus action, she makes it into this fine silk cloak that is like a royal red, um, with gold embroidery and such. It's as simple as that.
Thrym is giving out thunderous applause and being very amused by the whole show. That's amazing! I need to have it.
All right. 100 gold, and I'll wrap it up for you. Or you can take it as is.
Done deal. I'll wet it out.
All right. She takes the 100 gold from you and hands you the cloak.
With just that one item, he can have his girls just want to have fun montage.
Exactly.
Yes, please.
Is there anything else you would like?
Oh, I think that'll be quite enough.
All right.
Thank you very much.
I hope you come back.
I hope so too. Slightly put off by the somewhat ominous statement.
It
Was
was
that ominous, or was it a storekeeper trying to maintain business?
Yeah, it was more of
Is there a
the
difference?
more of
I'm an
what Penn.
introvert.
Well, that's true.
Yeah. All
So,
right.
so what is a cloak of many fashions?
Yeah. It's
He's
just
an
a
introvert.
just a common item.
It is a magnificent item. Thank you very much.
Well, the rest of you are taking naps, I assume we would. Let's go ahead and deal with
That nature roll,
the
maybe?
nature. Yes, the nature roll, please.
I'm totally inspiring that.
Okay.
I don't want a natural 1 on my nature roll. No to that. Well, that's 3 is not much better. 3 is not a natural 1, though, so I will take it.
With a 7, this is going to take a lot of time, more time than you have.
Sure.
But you get started on the process of trying to figure out what this poison is.
Cool. But and do I get some poisoner kit hours
Yeah.
doing it? Cool.
So, for the rest of you, was Zira taking a nap as well?
Yeah, she was napping.
Okay. All right.
Or trust me, she would have gone shopping with Thrim. But she was, like I said, she was in a bad mood.
Fair enough. All right.
Almost dying does that to you.
Let's go ahead and fast forward here to the evening. The sun is setting, and all of you have taken your nap, taken your walks, gone, to shop around a bit. And some of you have started the process of working on poisoners kits. You all convene at the Hushed Mug. Are any of you dressing up or getting cleaned up?
Rhea only has what she's
Absolutely.
wearing. Well, you can. Your fancy fucking robe.
Do any of you make preparations for dinner?
Yeah.
Oh,
Flower
he's
eats.
cooking.
Flower eats in advance.
I
Ha!
have. Yeah.
I love the rudeness.
I cannot stress enough how much she is from the Feywild and does not eat the food of people she does not trust.
Yep, that makes sense.
It makes sense.
All right.
Or you gonna
Thrym
say
will
Wake?
be. Sorry, go on. Wake.
Wake is quietly like before we're going. He's no longer a direwolf. He's cleaned himself off, but he has not like done anything to himself to change his appearance. But he's nervous and is basically he's quiet. I think anybody with a decent passive perception would catch him looking at something in the palm of his hand often.
Well, now I have to see what my passive perception is. 13?
Yeah, you'd catch it. I have a +1 to dex.
What
So
are you looking
I
at?
understand at 16. Cool.
Same. You would see Wake looking at something in the palm of his hand frequently.
Yeah. I think we could all.
What are you looking at?
Nothing. And he puts it away.
Wake.
That's not true. I saw it.
Caught.
Wake.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
I'm suspicious, nervous, concerned, worried, anxious. Fairly certain we're going to a place where an individual might try to kill us.
Should we have a plan in case that starts happening? Where we run away and...
I think running might be best. I'm just not at my peak.
Well, you got a broom. You can probably run faster than any of us.
Yes, but I can take one person, so on the broom with me.
We have to assume, if it is a trap, it's not going to be easy to get out of. We might be in for a fight, and if we are, turn into a bear. We'll fight back. But as far as plans go, that's pretty shallow.
And I'll just come back from the dead again.
That
I mean,
wasn't
you
on
didn't-
your own.
And you didn't die, you just weren't awake anymore. Well, you were never awake, but I mean,
Hey, you lost consciousness for a bit. And, partly my fault. I'm sorry about that.
I'm not mad at anybody except myself for letting it happen. I should be better. I should be able to like shield myself better. Ugh.
I mean,
that
we're all a
happens
team.
sometimes.
I'm trying to be over it. I took a nap. I'm moving on.
I was a little hangry, but I'm done now.
There's nothing you can
Let's
do.
just
something-
go see what this person, whatever, wants.
Oh, well, Zira, look at this! Thrum kind of turns around, and his cloak turns into a nice, flowing kind of tapestry of pinks and oranges, very terribly gaudy. Look, look, look!
Oh my god. Did you go shopping without me?
Well,
She's pissed.
I mean, it was mostly to summon Hugin, but I found this amazing cloak!
I'm so jealous. That's okay. I needed a nap. I can go shopping
Thrym
later.
turns it into like a regal purple with fluffy mink coat stuffings on the side.
Classic
Oh my
king.
god, that looks so comfy.
You want to try it on?
Can I?
Aw.
Thrym
Aw.
kind of slungs it off his shoulders and drapes it over Zira's.
And she turns it into like down blanket that she wraps herself in.
Oh, that looks snug.
It's so comfy. But we have things to do. Oh my gosh. I want to borrow this later. Here's your beautiful thing back. And she gives it back.
Thank you. You can borrow it anytime.
Thank you, Thrimmy.
All right.
Well, that cloak aside, I guess if we're just in trouble, we fight or run, or I guess we'll figure it out, won't we?
Oh, I guess that's what we normally do.
It's always worked.
So far, so good.
Could have a different plan, but we don't know enough about this place.
Exactly, we can't really plan.
But it seems like if it's a big enough party, it would be better not to fight as much as possible, especially if there are others around.
We have no idea. Could just be us.
Could be.
One way to find out.
And with that, I assume you all head over to the Caldwell Manor.
Yep.
Which is on your way to the cemetery. But before we go into that, let's go ahead and take a small break. We will get back to it. So, you all prepare yourselves for an evening at the Caldwell Manor, making your way over to the very nice stone house. It is.
Oh shit, the music changed. We're in trouble.
Brick and stone stands before you, a nice walk up that is lit by lanterns, which seem to hold a continual flame. The house itself is brightly lit with, I know it doesn't show it, but it is alive with torchlight, firelight that you can see through the windows. But you are here and you are invited. Who's making the first step?
Grim, obviously.
Yeah. Trim's at the front.
Thrim's at the front, and I'll
Best
just
foot
go ahead-
forward. I will say that Flower is up there, not above Trim or anything. But like she
Everyone's
kind of
above
keeps looking
Trim.
over her shoulder at Priya, and it's pretty clear that like she doesn't want Priya going in there first.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah, like
I think
she
She's
seems
in the
pretty
middle.
set up. She
Roads
seems
will
I was
pretty
be
gonna
set up
say that
to.
near
Zira's next to
Flower.
Thrym because she wants to play with his cape.
Wick will be in the back.
Okay.
Grim, noticing this, will occasionally change details about the cloak, like minor details, to see if she notices.
Okay.
She does every time she goes.
And every time Thrym lets out a little chuckle.
They're very cute.
All right. So, you all make your way up to the front door of the Caldwell Manor. Thrym.
Before reaching the door, Thrym will send up Hugin to stay outside
Okay.
and perch on maybe the balcony above here,
Sure.
trying to stay like
There he is.
outside but still as close to us as possible.
Okay. You walk up to the door and you give the wooden door a knock. It takes a few awkward moments for a figure to open it. A human man in a very nice, like, suit. This obviously looks like some sort of butler. Good evening. I assume you are all Master Perseus's guests for this evening.
Hey, that would be us.
Right.
Guests, right?
Yes, I was told guests.
Insight.
Yeah, that's what I'm asking for.
Make
Go
sure
for
to
it.
welcome the prisoners as guests.
10.
Okay.
Oh, sweet.
He doesn't look like he's hiding anything.
Mhm.
He's telling you what he was told. So
Zira is immediately unimpressed that he doesn't know our names because she's used to having help and service, but like the fact that we have come and this butler does not know the name of the guests arriving annoys the crap out of her.
The etiquette flaws.
My name is Winstead, and would you please? And he opens the door for you.
Thank you, Winstead.
I'm sure they go in.
Thrym will step in.
The interior is very nice. It has marble floors that have a pretty neat and royal, intricate design. You see a few chandeliers in this, like, basically this state or foyer. It's very nice. And as you all enter, there are a couple benches, a coat rack. The master will be with you in just a moment. In that time, can I get any of you refreshments?
Thank you. That'll be
I'm
all.
okay. Thank you.
Thank you. That'll be all.
You show him.
Ordering around someone else's butler. I love Zira.
You all decline any refreshments, I assume.
Oh, Zira has already declined.
Okay.
Yeah,
For the group,
Zira.
for the group. Okay.
Yeah.
Zira's speaking for the group. Okay.
Honestly, it's probably fair because
he
fuck this place.
I think actually, could I get a glass of water?
Of course, sir. Of course. He gives you all a bow, and you see him exit.
And as
the
soon as he
foyer.
exits, Zira's like, ew, he didn't even ask sparkling or stilled. He just said okay. He didn't ask if you wanted flavored or mountain water or spring water. Ugh.
Wake is not really listening as he casts Detect Poison and Disease.
All right. You're left in here for a good, 10, 15 minutes. Winston does come back with your glass of water, sparkling.
Why is it spicy?
He comes out with it on a tray and it presents it to you. Your spell, Wake, does not detect any poison coming from the water.
Thanks.
Oh, that's some strange water. It's like a mix of air and water.
It's sparkling
Priya just
water.
furrows her brow.
Water with a bunch of air.
Why is the
bubbles in
water
it.
jumping?
I
Wake
can't believe
sips
he
it.
would just assume you would want that.
If you've had sparkling water, it's just sparkling water.
Why is it spicy?
Wake just kind of.
You all right there?
That is not pleasant.
Fuck Butler.
It's like someone. Hang on, I can
It's
probably
poison.
fix it. No, it's just terrible. And he casts shape water, and he will pull it out of the glass, and then just wring it out almost.
Get that fucking bubbles out of there.
Then he puts it back, and he's like, "Oh, that's better." An abomination that was.
So where did the butler leave us?
We're in a waiting room, right?
Yeah.
I guess a sitting room.
You're in an entry room, entry hallway
And is there,
type deal.
Open doors, or are we in a closed room?
There's a door to your left and to your right. Winston went off into the door on the left, and there's it is a closed room. There's a set of doors in front of you, but there's also windows you can see into past the double doors, on the sides.
Yeah. So he left us alone for how long?
Well, he brought the water back, and he seems busy with stuff. So,
well, whenever he's gone, I don't know what other people want to do, but Rhodes just want to just kind of peek outside these doors and just kind of percept for anything that's weird or looks strange.
Sure.
Just a general perception of the house. Does it look like there's an assassin hiding behind that couch?
Perception check.
I love how much we don't trust this guy.
God!
We have no reason to
What
trust
did you
this
do to
guy.
me, Echo? Ah!
I am currently
Two
swimming in the
natural
curse
ones.
myself, Rose.
2 natural ones.
Oh, buddy.
Welcome to the mud pit.
Can I make a casual perception check to just show him up?
Sure, yeah.
I don't know. It looks great.
All right. Roads, the windows are kind of fogged over, kind of treated to where you can't really see much. Right. But Zira and Priya,
they just open the door and look.
In this entry hall, you see a bowl of mints. You see a pretty it's just I don't know what to say about it. It's nothing special that you see. I mean, the most interesting part is the bowl of mints.
So nothing that looks dangerous.
Nothing that looks dangerous. No.
All right.
No traps. No eyes peeking through the artwork.
On the ceiling.
Nothing on the ceiling. No.
Okay.
No bat-like goblin abyssal creatures.
Are you sure?
Any Dawkins?
You don't know.
At the end of this 15 minutes, you see Winston again opens the double doors in front of you to the rest of the main house, and it is a grand central chamber with two sets of stairs kind of circling up or going up to the second floor. A large chandelier hanging from the middle, and Winston opens the doors. The dining room is ready for you all. If you could follow me. But before we go there, I would like to take your order. Would you like the seafood or steak?
Steak, please.
What kind of steak will we be dining on this evening? What cut is it?
I believe the cut is either ribeye or filet mignon.
I'll have the ribeye, medium rare. Just kiss it slightly, please, with the flame. I don't want medium. Please, medium rare, and I will have blue cheese crumbles with that, and sautéed mushrooms.
Very well.
Better fucking have sauteed mushrooms.
It will be done. The rest of you?
Seafood.
Would you like the salmon or lobster?
Can't have both.
Of course.
All right. There you are.
And the rest of you?
I'll have a McDouble without lettuce or tomato. She orders steak. She likes meat.
McDoubles don't come with lettuce or tomato.
That's why she has some without.
I don't think I've ever tried the food of the sea before, so I'll have some of that.
All right. Thrib, flour.
Oh,
Right.
Thrim immediately said steak.
Sure.
Oh, Flower's not
Oh,
even
right,
sure,
yeah.
but she'll order.
Okay. All right. Once you put your orders in, you are brought off this main chamber to the right to a grand dining room, and it's there off the table across the room. You see the man you're supposed to meet. He is standing near, well, a mini bar, basically, ready to greet you all, and he does. You see, in a not that particular outfit, but a nice suit, like very fine clothing. Good evening. I am glad you took my invitation.
Mr. Caldwell?
Oh, we're honored to be here, sir.
Did Winston get you anything to drink, or can I make you something here?
He got water that hurt Wake.
Sparkling water.
I fixed it.
It was
Oh.
jumpy for some reason.
I'll be sure to make sure the water is spring instead.
What's the difference?
The clarity. Sparkling
just-
water has a little bit of carbonation.
The time of year matters that much.
I was thinking about
Not
making that
that
joke.
kind of
I'm glad you
spring.
beat me to it.
Spring water comes from a river. If that makes
Oh,
yes.
not a lick, but fine. I'll take your word for it.
Would any of you else like to have a drink? Maybe a bourbon, whiskey, or if
Yeah,
an ale?
Since you're offering, I'll have a whiskey, please.
Sure.
I'll have wine.
Wine. And he kind of looks to Winston, who is behind you, and he nods to the butler, and he nods back and goes to find some wine.
I'm trusting Flower to save us if we get poisoned.
Oh
Well-
yeah, Flower will like kind of silently take some water and pretend to sit bedded all night.
Okay. Thrym, you get a really nice, neat whiskey on the rocks. Wake, you do not detect any poison coming from anything in this room.
Aside from alcohol.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. Aside from the
Okay.
normal alcohol, of
Got
course. Well, please be my guest. Take a seat. Our food will be out here shortly.
Does it matter where we sit?
Not at all. And
Is there anything like remarkable in this room?
the china. It's very fine
Does he
china.
have like a big painting of himself in here? Because he feels like the type.
No, actually, there is a pretty nice mural on the wall that on the same side that you came in through the double doors, but it seems to be of like a castle. Like, you've been there before. It is the capital. It is Emberhaven.
Oh, I thought you meant like this town was the capital for a second. I was
No,
like, what?
no. It is a giant mural of the glory and splendor of Emberhaven.
Oh yeah, I lived in a brothel there.
Yes, you did. You could probably point to where that brothel is in the painting.
She probably would. She'd be like, oh, hey, that's the brothel I lived in.
What?
Remember?
Aye, you can see it?
Yeah, it's right there.
Uh,
I worked there for a few months. She does not clarify that she worked as like a maid. She doesn't think she needs to.
Fair enough. That does get an eyebrow raise from Perseus.
Well, I just came to this plane. It was the only job I could find.
I see. Well, and he goes to take a seat at the head of the table, where there is about 12 chairs, 12 settings.
We should all sit at the other end of the table.
You may choose to do so if you want.
I won't.
that would be amazing, though.
It would be funny. That's a little rude.
I don't have a map for this, but you can play. He sits at the head of the table here. You can place yourselves how you wish. I'm going to move Hukin out of the way.
You know what? She'll sit right next to him. Power move.
Oh, I was gonna say that too.
You could do the opposite side.
Either
Yeah.
side, yeah.
Okay.
Muscle
I'll
him
sit
in.
next to Priya.
Priya.
Okay.
I want to be between him and other people.
Okay, so 4 on
very
one side. Yeah, very, very lopsided. This is fine.
Nobody wants to sit next to Wake and Priya.
Oh. So. Well, I hope you enjoy tonight's meal.
I'm sure we will. Are you going to be honest with us this evening?
Yes.
Inside check.
Yeah.
Sure. I don't know why I
13.
bother.
13.
7. Wait,
seem-
yes, 7. I rolled a
7.
1.
Bud.
He seems pretty confident.
I'm sure he does. He could seem like a tree, and I'd believe it right now.
Well, have I not been? Well, I've already answered my own question.
No, you haven't.
I feel like you've been not forthcoming, but what you have said, you've said truthfully.
There's
But
just
you're
a lot.
careful.
There's a lot about you that doesn't really add up.
What's a burgermeister doing raiding travelers on the road?
We're just going to go straight into it, aren't we?
I don't
Yeah.
see why we might beat around the bush.
Well,
I learned that one from Thrym.
Grim chuckles.
the Apostles are a band that, well,
What kind of music do they play?
it's a collection of people that have been persecuted by the new law of Enderos. And I give them employment and they help clean up what I can. I assume that all of you are assuming I have done the worst by attacking innocent people.
Yes.
Well,
I mean, like, who does that?
you're hanging around with the guys with those weird masks. The only thing that I know is they are people who served the Shadow Emperor, and he wasn't a good guy. So why would I think that if you're hanging around with people like that you're a good guy?
That's fair. That's very fair. The people driving that cart were not as innocent as you might think. They were.
We only have your word for that. And
They're
also,
not here to defend themselves.
you didn't seem particularly keen to defend your own people after they attacked us.
I tried. You guys are very
Did
good.
you?
I did.
It looked to me like you just took a couple of shots at Wake and they were
Unsuccessful.
very specifically unsuccessful.
Well, it's hard
You also
to hit.
tried to attack me after I called you stupid. So you don't have a very good control over your emotions, I think.
You're right about that. Sometimes I let the heat of the moment get to me. But trust me when I say my intentions with the Apostles are far better than what the Ashen Shadows have in store for you.
How are they persecuted?
Are you all sorcerers?
Innately magically inclined. Some of us.
I don't feel persecuted. I was given a job.
You were given a job, but you're also watched very closely, are you not?
I don't feel like I am. They took my blood, but they took everyone's blood here, and they haven't said a word about it afterwards.
Then I'm grateful you haven't seen the ramifications for being, well, magically inclined.
They even told me who my father was, and I didn't know that. They've only helped me.
And you are very lucky. As far as I know, the Aegis chapter does a good job with making sure their sorcerers drink the good Kool-Aid, if you will.
What is Kool-Aid?
It's a flavored drink. I can
Is
make
it
some if
better
you
than
like.
Is it better than the bubbling water?
It can be.
I guess I should ask, do you like the bubbling water?
No.
Then why serve it?
The
As the
client
default option.
I apologize. The guests that I have come here often like the sparkling water. So I keep it
Oh,
around.
baby.
A foul taste.
I agree with you on that one.
Wick seems to harumph.
So what's your end goal? What do you want? What do you want with us?
My end goal is to make this nation, this place, a peaceful and prosperous place to live in, where nobody has to submit to registries or submit to learning in an institution built by the government. That is the
And-
end goal of the
and
And
apostles.
who would be?
And
Go
who
ahead,
would be
Mark.
what?
That doesn't really tell us what you want from us.
What do we have to do with this? Most of us aren't even from here.
Aye.
I can see that. Well, for one, you attacked my group on the road without any questions or any insight to what was going on.
As if it was unprovoked.
It wasn't. I believe the person who made the first strike was you. And he looks to you, Priya.
There was bodies and a flaming cart.
I understand that. However, you didn't stop to ask why.
And you didn't stop to explain yourself.
And you watched your people die.
You
People-
had time to talk.
Yeah, if you wanted to call
Stop,
it
this
off
is
so
all a
badly,
misunderstanding. We're good guys.
if you wanted to call it off so badly, you could have tried at any point. And you didn't. And you blame us for jumping into a situation that ended violently and not stopping the violence. What do you actually want from us,
From you?
other than to give us your little pitch about your apostles group that we've multiple times said that we don't care about? What do you want
You
from
say you
us?
you say your lot are looking out for us more than what the Ash and Shadow have in store for us? What does that even mean?
Sounds like a threat.
What do
Is that
they
why
have
you
in
brought us
store?
Is why you brought us here to threaten us?
Actually, that sounds familiar. Haven't we heard that phrase before?
Yeah,
How
Refi's
much longer until
the
dinner?
password for Refi's
That's right.
place is we need a little Ash and Shadow.
Hey, it's his gang.
The Ashen Shadows are an organization that operate underground But what you don't know is that they operate freely and operate with the sanctions of the crown.
So
So that
you're
is
jealous?
The crown allows them to operate without any restrictions. I took out one of their safe houses. They deal in trafficking, smuggling. It's not a good organization to have
Inside
in a
check.
peaceful. Okay.
Yeah, I'd like to insight as well.
Didn't he tell us that he had nothing to do with the people leaving the safe house?
He sure did.
21.
16. Good job, baby.
I did it.
What are you trying to glean from this insight? Like
If he's
If
being
he's, yeah, I took out a bad people place. Like,
if he's being
did you?
forthright, or if he's like trying to slip something by us, if he's not telling us the whole truth, like, is he trying to play us, or is he being just forthright?
Okay. Gotcha.
As Fiddlesticks would say, give me the juice.
Who's Fiddlesticks and why is he juice?
Don't worry about it. It's a
Okay.
dumb reference.
With a 16 and a 21, you can see the emotions. He's very passionate about what he believes in. You can see the passion, and he believes that he's doing good. You don't see any, like, deceit in his eyes or in his tone of voice. You see someone who believes he's doing something good. With a 5, you don't see that, Flower.
I mean, that's fair. Flower wouldn't believe him regardless.
In this new world order of yours, who would be the leaders?
Well, I believe that power should be given to the people. We shouldn't have kings or nobles or anything of that sort.
Communist propaganda is what I hear.
That sounds like an easy sell for a person born with power.
You're right. I was born with power. And I was also born with scales on my face. And the power to wield or manipulate the weave naturally.
Of course you'd rather power be in your hands than the hands of some king.
I don't wish the power to be in my hands.
But you said the people, and you aren't a king.
I am not a king. I have no desire to be a king. I do, however, desire for everybody to have an equal opportunity to do, well, to have the freedom to do whatever their dreams take them. If we have organizations like the Ashen Shadows making sure the crown stays in power, then it's going to be very hard for us to come to that conclusion.
Okay, Perseus, I have a very important question for you.
All right.
Where do your scales come from?
It's funny you should ask. My heritage, funnily enough, comes from a shadow dragon.
I've never heard of such a thing.
They're very, very rare. Dragons from the Shadowfell.
Imaginative name.
I hope you never go. It is a very dark place. You've been asking me a lot of questions. And I understand your curiosity, but I'm also curious about you. Where do you all come from?
With lots of places.
I'm not telling you that.
From the halls of Ironholm.
Ashland Grove.
In Celestia.
Yeah.
Anybody else respond?
I hail from a small town named Dolach.
All right.
I'm from the elemental plane of Earth, but probably not from anywhere that you've heard of, unless you're familiar.
Not familiar with the elemental plane of Earth, nor have I heard of your town.
I thought not.
So, if you're trying to recruit us, you're probably asking the wrong group. You should maybe consider someone more actively oppressed.
Yeah, well, that's my problem with this whole thing. I understand what you're saying, and you seem to believe what you're saying, but I just haven't seen what's so bad about the king or anything in this country. I've been pretty free to move around and to do what I want to do. I got a nice job here, and yeah, I just don't see what's to fight against.
I feel as though you and your group have not been here long enough to see the cracks. And that's fine. And he looks at you, Flower, I am no longer trying to actively recruit you. I understand your position. And if you are happy where you are, then so be it. This here tonight, this dinner, is a show of my thanks for dispatching a great evil. So,
I have a question. It's a more straightforward one.
Yes.
Were you to hire us away from the syndicate, what would you have us do?
Well, that's a good question. I'm not sure, but I see great potential in all of you. A group of outsiders looking in on a nation that seems like the perfect nation. And well, first I would have to show you the cracks. Show you exactly what's wrong. And so if you were to join me and the apostles, I would have you do some work that could show you what's wrong.
You're asking us to join you on your word to prove that you're correct. But that's not how it works because we don't trust you.
Well, why use a mask as your symbol? Fun evil emperor. Why are you doing that? What's up
Why
with
are you
that?
doing that?
Why are you doing that? He literally looks worried. He's worried because these masks affect him, and he doesn't understand.
The masks that we use are from the time of the Emperor. Yes. You are correct. Aside from all the faults of what the Emperor did to many people, he had a good structure for society. Now, I'm not saying the disparity between magical and non-magical people was the right thing. But for 1,000 years, there was relative peace. Things had an order to them.
I mean, things have an order now. I'm getting very Hitler didn't do anything wrong vibes from this guy.
Yeah, Hitler had some good ideas.
Yeah, like he wasn't all
Jesus.
bad.
So that's why we use the masks.
That's why we wear swastikas.
I really don't like it. That's all I have to say.
Do you have another suggestion? Should we not wear
Any-
masks? Should we not
any-
wear things to hide our faces?
What do you
Well,
need to?
Yeah, if you're not doing anything wrong, then why bother hiding your faces behind any kind of mask,
Because
representative
people,
of the Emperor or not?
because people will just see us doing wrong because that's all they see. That's
As we
what they've
saw.
been told to see.
But you're
They
showing
don't
it to
ask
them.
questions.
You're showing it to them. You're showing them. You're intimidating them. You're showing them a symbol of something terrifying from their past. How else are they supposed to react to that?
I suppose you're right.
You need a new PR guy, is what we're saying.
I'm open to suggestions. What do you suggest?
From us? We are
Less
not in your.
Nazi symbols.
We aren't in your group. Why would we do you this favor? Either you're trying to flatter us, in which case I don't trust you, or you're trying to deceive us into trusting you, and you're doing it clumsily.
Fair enough. Then I won't ask you that. Instead, I will ask you to just enjoy the meal. If you have any questions about the town or this place, as you are quite clearly not from here, I'm open to the questions.
What happened to the last burger master?
He was a recluse. He wasted away in his manor without any wife or children.
Did he happen to speak Abyssal?
That I don't know.
Do you speak Abyssal?
No.
Inside check.
Okay.
Where is it? I was a wake roll if I ever saw one.
Oh.
Hey!
Oh.
I'm struggling over here.
I know, and you're so
alright?
cute.
Kick him when he's down.
Fuck.
What I do.
Hard to read.
Well, here's another question then. Aren't you worried about the stuff that's been happening around here?
Of course I am. But when Sergeant White told me your group was on the case, I trusted you to find the right solution. Because
Sure.
from what I briefly saw of our encounters, you all have decent hearts. Your minds are in the right place to do good.
At least what you define
Right?
is good.
Well, you seem to have some sort of power in whether you... Well, let's say you weren't involved in this sort of thing. This is your town, so you should be aware. That shadow creature we killed, it disappeared, but who... We don't know who even summoned that in the first place. There could still be more danger.
There very well could be, and I'll keep my eyes open. And, well, because of you, I also have another friend that can keep his eyes open. And he should be arriving here any moment.
But when is dinner arriving?
At this point, a first course comes out. A nice light salad with like berries and nuts and a vinaigrette, and it's all set in front of you all.
Thrym will keep one eye with Hugin.
Okay.
Trying to scout out who the person is that is coming.
Make a perception check with Hugin.
With Thrym is watching through Hugin's eyes, though.
Yes.
You still need to percept.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Who
uses.
still needs to percept?
Yes.
Yeah, it uses
he
the bird.
percepts.
If you're
Perfect.
A 20. You see at the front door, and being let in right now, is a familiar figure that you rescued yesterday. The one and only Peter Skylark.
Oh my god, he's here to do a concert.
To himself, Wake
I hear
mutters.
Skylark.
To himself, Wake mutters. To sip of the oceans, a hero is needed. Hey there, Mr. Skylark.
Yeah. Peter Skylark is directed to the dining room where you all are, and he does greet you all with a smile. Ah, my saviors. How are you? Oh, he's still
Hello.
cursed.
Man at the tower that tried to kill us.
Hi.
Did
Hello.
you fix your death tower yet?
I certainly did.
Inside check.
Inside check.
Go ahead.
17.
10.
Should we just have a rolling
Also
stream of
10.
insight checks?
Yeah. Every
Yeah.
time someone says a word, I want to roll an insight check. I don't trust.
We're not very
Fuck it, we're-
insightful people, though.
Okay.
Fuck off. My insight
I have a
bonus is great.
+5.
We're insightful. We just
Yeah.
can't.
We just can't.
Just can't.
Yeah, that's a
Bullshit.
Okay. Give me a moment.
I rolled a 17.
You did. Okay.
I don't know what everybody else is bitching about.
You see on Peter Skylark's face, he's like going through, like, he's kind of unsure of his
Shit,
answer.
did I fix the tower?
Yeah, kind of like that. You do.
Did I leave the oven on?
Priya and Zira, you both see that. Like, he's like saying yes, but he's
I
like
think so.
making sure that he went through like he's double checking a list in his head. That's what you see.
There was
It's
one thing to fix: the killer snake.
Did I get rid of the crushing pillars? Did I get rid of the crushing pillars?
Yeah, that's what you see. Man, he rolled
the
really
saw
shit.
traps.
Oh my god.
Well, it seems I've caught the first course just in time.
Pretty sure I turned off the acid shower.
Is Zira's order made correctly?
I gotta know.
We
That
don't
ma-
know. We're still on the first course.
Yeah.
Oh shit! What's the first course? I already forgot.
A salad.
Salad.
And salad.
Oh, man, Priya just picked
Dang
she
it.
likes meat a lot better than she likes vegetables.
Quickly after the salad is brought out, like a little like small plates of what look to be like oysters are set out. Like there's 3 on each plate, and like 3 are given to each of you as like a starter.
Well, these funny looking rocks.
Most accurate description I've ever heard.
Agreed.
Funny looking rocks.
Rocks with fleshy bits inside.
There's
Disgusting.
I don't
tapping
know.
on
I
them.
love oysters.
You're so wrong.
Disgusting.
You're wrong.
and it has
Put a little lemon, salt, chili.
Yep.
Why are they gooey?
It has all the fixings that you would want with an
It is
oyster.
an ocean loogie, after all.
Oh my god, you guys, we gotta stop, please, please.
I'm making you sick.
Yes, you legitimately are.
You see, Perseus, like he does all the fixing on the oysters, but Peter, he just no salt,
He
no
raw
lime.
dogs it.
Completely raw. Oh, I haven't had oysters in
vomits.
quite a long time.
Ah. The shell is sort of like a
That's
rock.
because you were trapped in a hell of your own making.
It wasn't my making. Actually, you all asked me what the name of my colleague was.
Yeah, that was me. I asked you that.
Are any of you familiar with the politics of Arborus?
No.
No,
Oh my god, so totally.
Not
We're
really.
foreigners.
Yes.
Most of us
No,
are foreigners.
duh.
You know, you've been trapped for over a century, yes?
Yes.
Think of it like that. Imagine that we just haven't been here. Because many of us haven't been.
Okay. Well,
Some of us are
you-
more.
you
learned
do.
in the matter.
And he kind of looks across the table at Zira. You are familiar.
I what? No,
with-
I was being sarcastic.
Well,
It's kind
Uh,
of weird that you didn't get that.
some
Careful
of
to
these
say hello.
some of these things just fly right over my head. But if any of you know the name Asomni.
Nope.
No? The mage? Archmage from
Nope.
Celestia?
Would I know
Nope.
that?
Don't know a damn thing.
You can
Apparently, I know.
yeah, you can definitely history check Thrym. Okay. Well, yes, both Zira and Thrym.
Was he
Thrym,
one of the followers of the king who killed the? No.
No.
Just shh,
That-
he's about to tell us.
Shotnamus.
Yeah. So Thrym, you only know him by name, and you know that he is an archmage from Celestia. Zira, you know this as one of the members of the Sequoian Council, the governing body of Arborus. He is an archmage from Celestia, a high elf.
Does he maybe do business with my dad? Is that why I know him?
Oh, yes, he is the main political figure in in the city of Celestia. Like he is the archmage.
Okay.
And it just immediately triggers. Yeah, I know him.
He's immediately triggered.
A Somni
Immediately triggered.
Dorlaman.
Oh yeah, okay. I know him. He does business with my dad.
Right. So I asked him for a little bit of help with a spell that would extend my form as an air elemental. What I didn't know was that if I didn't revert back by the end of the hour, I would be that forever.
Seems like a thing your friend should have told you.
He should have.
Sounds like a kind of shitty friend.
Things happen. Mistakes happen.
What did he want from you?
And I'm
Wow,
sure
very good.
it was just a mistake. I do plan on going to see him shortly after.
And he
this
never
dinner.
came to check on you and he didn't reappear?
Is he still alive?
I don't know if he did. I was an air elemental on the elemental plane of air.
Where does he live, this friend?
What?
Where does he
Where does he
live,
live?
this friend? And do you know that he still does?
Well, you know of him.
So I would say, yeah, he lives. Where? In Celestia?
He's you relay like he's one of the 11 from the Sequoian Council, which is like the main governing body of Arborus. It seems my friend has moved up in life since I've been away. Okay. Well, yes. This friend lives in Celestia.
And how do you know Mr. Caldwell here?
Oh, this is actually our second time meeting. And you see Perseus nods with a small smile. I guess the Caldwells are the new Burgmeister of Harkmire. And, well, myself and the old Burgmeister had a deal that I would keep my tower here. And have sort of a symbiotic relationship. My research and my dealings would be, well, unmolested.
Weird.
What sort of research?
The murder civilians kind.
Unintentional. Well, I was doing some research as an air elemental. I wanted to see what it was like to be an air elemental for a determined period of time. I lost track of time, became an air elemental for a long time, a very long time.
Yeah, you must have very unique insight now.
I do. It is a dull life of floating in the air all the time.
Wow.
Do you
However,
remember
really
every
like
bit
a
of it?
book.
huh?
Do you remember every bit of it?
The main events of it, yes. I do remember how tumultuous it could be. At times. Some of the storms on the air elemental plane can be quite. How do I say this? What's the word?
Windy.
Windy. Sure. Yes. You know.
Yes.
Oh, I do remember the pretty places. I remember floating cities.
Bray just makes a face.
I
What do they? What do
remember
those cities float on?
Nothing.
nothing.
No, no, God,
A cloud, if you will.
no.
Flower kind of like uses mold earth to kind of like extra pet roads. Kind of comfortingly
Oh, thank you.
moving the rocks around so he can sort of like sense them on himself.
Oh, thanks, thank you.
I remember a particular very pretty castle, palace, I should say. Uh, Can't say I remember much of the denizens. Lots and lots of Genasi lived there.
Oh, yes.
And he kind of looks you over, and he's gonna make a Arcana check because the horns and the scales
horns, yeah.
are throwing him off for a little bit. Okay. He looks at you, Priya. Oh, you are an air Genasi.
Yes. Yes, I am.
Fascinating. And you are a water Genasi and an earth Genasi. How did you all come together?
Hey, by chance, I suppose.
Aye, freaking happenstance.
All right.
We were all just looking for a job and ended up in Aegis.
Well, happy circumstance that I ran into you.
We tried to brave your murder tower. We were definitely told not to.
And I'm glad you beat it.
Those riddles were really hard.
Yes. I have dismissed the bone naga.
The kill snake.
Yes, I have.
The riddle snake.
The riddle snake. Yes.
Was it always a bone naga?
No. It was a guardian naga, and then
It
it
just
expired.
died.
But
Hate when that happens.
it kept its word. So
Did you ask it to promise not to murder?
I think it took its directives very loosely. I told the Naga to protect the assets of that floor, and that's all I told it. I should have been more specific. I apologize.
You live and you learn, eh?
Yes.
Of the people who died.
You
I saw
live,
that coming.
you learn for 200 years, you learn some more as an air elemental, and then you get saved by a bunch of adventurers. Thank you.
Again, most
So
welcome.
what are you thinking of the ashen dust?
Ashen
What?
Shadow?
It's
That one. Ashen shadow.
well, those are two very different substances. Well, one
Oh,
is...
he doesn't know. It's been too long. Apparently, your friend here is fighting something that I don't understand quite.
Oh.
Go ahead and explain it. She says to me.
In a
Ask
very...
if you can just talk to yourself for a while.
Yeah.
I hate you. I hate you so much. Perseus explains who the Ashen Shadows are. A group that works with the underground, or works the underground in smuggling, trafficking, and all sorts of that stuff. Oh, well. So the riffraff of society.
Oh, I
Is that why his
suppose.
name is Raffi?
But your new friend here with the apostles is in the business of destabilizing governments, so I don't know which one's better.
Accurate.
Destabilizing governments. Well, as long as it doesn't affect my work, I don't see any point in caring.
Right.
And he gives like a polite, like bright smile.
You wouldn't hurt anybody with your experiments, would you?
Oh, I would avoid bloodshed at any cost. Yeah.
Okay. Insight?
Go ahead.
Okay. Oh no. Fuck. It was.
Oh, buddy.
It looked like it was an 18, and then just flipped over onto the 4.
Yeah. You get the feeling that he's genuine.
Yeah.
They could tell us all of our names are Steve, and we would think they're genuine.
Yep.
All right. Well, what more is there to say here, Perseus?
Why are you here? I forgot. Did you tell us why he was here?
He wanted to reward us and thank us because the gold wasn't enough, apparently.
Oh, not the party. The Skylark, the Birdman.
Oh, I'm just here to have a nice meal after 200 years.
Ah.
Well,
What do you think of the salad?
Pleasure.
He hasn't touched the salad. Not my cup of tea.
Oh no, it's a salad. Don't be stupid.
At this point, the main course does come out.
Is Zira's correct?
Yes, Zira's
I've been
is
waiting
correct.
this whole time. Good. Good.
A steak, medium rare, with
Yes.
blue cheese, crumbles,
Uh-huh.
and sauteed mushrooms.
Ribeye specifically.
You see,
Ribeye
Yeah.
specifically, yeah.
Oh, I missed the cut. My bad. I wouldn't have served you correctly.
you see Peter's plate. It has all 4 meat. He has like a little bit of ribeye, a little bit of filet mignon, lobster, and salmon all on the same plate. It's all jam packed. Oh,
I didn't know that was an option.
I asked for both.
Oh. But
I
wasn't
didn't
listening.
include the meat as
You-
well, but
Wait, you see Perseus look to Winston, and he nods knowingly. If you wanted both, well, what would you like?
Talking to me?
Yes, to you, Priya.
I want all the meat.
You want
Don't
all 4?
order it. We're gonna be here for another 5 hours.
I'd like to souffle. It's going to be another 45 minutes. That's okay. Everyone will wait for me.
Yeah.
It is much quicker. The extra stuff that you want comes out within like 10 minutes.
I want to rack up his bill.
This town is so far from seawater. I don't know where they're getting lobster.
It is. It really is.
But
But
anyway, Rhodes is cracking on the shell like, oh, wait, another weird one.
Everything's in a rock here.
Wake is like, this is probably the most feral any of you have seen Wake eat anything. Like, he's just shredding
attracted.
the shells apart and just
Wow.
eating the meat straight out of it.
Is that how it's
No.
done?
Oh, have fun with it.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Just starts eating, trying to copy you. Cracking it open, shell flying and hitting Perseus in the face.
Specifically.
But he's sitting right next to him, so of course.
a
Are
bottle.
Thrim and Zira the only ones who have like proper etiquette?
Yes.
At the moment.
The rest are just kind of
A
Cheryl.
bottle of chilled wine is brought out and served if anybody wants wine.
Is Flower still pretending to eat?
No, she's not.
She's just
Is
not
she
eating at all.
or just not eating?
She is not eating, and she
She's
is
giving up the
keeping-
ghost.
No, she's not eating, and she is keeping eye contact. And if with Percy, not Perseus,
Perseus.
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 Yeah, she I mean, and like she's not like if he looks over at her, like she'll just like make eye contact and smile. Like it has been very clear from how she's acted this whole time that like she doesn't trust him. She's completely over it, and like he has not told her one single word that like has in any way earned her trust at all. And like if he asks her about it, she'll say something, but otherwise, she chats pleasantly with those around her and does not eat or drink.
Okay. He seems like he does glance over a few times, Flower, and he gives you a polite smile. He's gonna insight check you.
I mean, the DC is not high to know that she just doesn't trust him.
Okay.
And I don't know. I don't. She didn't say that she was from the Feywild. Like, I guess if he rolls like a nat
Rhodes
20
did.
or something, like.
Oh no,
that-
Rhodes didn't say it. Yeah, never mind. Sorry, I'm
but,
lying.
like,
You lying liar.
You liar!
yeah, but like she's, she's just kind of waiting for more information to come up, basically.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, he doesn't roll high enough to catch any of that. But, Perseus and Peter are very cordial, polite. It's a nice, like, main course meal. And once you've all had your fill, and it is a lot of food that is placed in front of you. Well, I hope you've all had a pleasant meal, have enjoyed the drink and the company.
Yes, thank you.
Are you all up for dessert or a
Yes.
nightcap?
What's on the menu?
Elven honey cake.
Okay.
I'll take some.
I'd love to try it.
Yeah, I'll give it a
I
try.
want that right now.
A huge like cake, layered cake is brought out with like whipped cream on top, and you see like dripping honey and like other like kind of floating down to this like pedestal type carrier that Winstead is bringing it in on. He sets it in the middle of the table and cuts out the first slice, and he starts passing out the elven honey cake around. It is simple, it is decadent, it is very sweet.
Yeah.
For the record, this is the only thing that Flower looks even remotely tempted by, but she does not.
I was gonna say, does she eat it?
Aw.
No, oh hell
Oh,
no.
you almost got her.
Hell no. Like, especially because she's tempted by it, like, absolutely the fuck not.
A slice is placed in front of you, Flower. But
Nope.
Rio will
Has he
fork it
noticed that
off.
she's not eating?
He rolled really badly.
It seems like he noticed, but he hasn't like called her
But he
on
couldn't
it.
figure out why.
He's just smiled at her, and that's fine.
Yep.
He doesn't have to know. Flower doesn't have to tell him.
Well, once again,
Can I ask you what is your opinion on the syndicate? We know you don't like the underground, but what do you feel about the syndicate?
another government institution that means well. And that's all he says on it.
Okay.
I mean, if all employees of the syndicate are like you, 6, then I see a lot of good coming from it.
Yeah, we haven't been around for a very long time, but from what I've seen of the syndicate, it's all very above the board.
What kind of things should we look for if we were to believe you, even just a little bit? Like, you keep saying that they can't be trusted. They haven't shown us any reason that we shouldn't trust them. So, like, give us a hint, give us a clue. Like, what should we be looking for when we go back? And then if we kind of start seeing that, maybe we can trust you a little bit.
Look for anything that. Look for any thing that doesn't make sense, that doesn't feel right. And if it's.
I think I found it. She says, making direct eye contact with him.
Almost nothing feels right about this plane. You're asking the wrong people.
Let's just say, if anything feels wrong with what you're doing on a job that you were given, look into it a little bit more. Ask questions. Ask the questions you asked me tonight. Don't trust anything. What are you trying to glean? He seems pretty.
Making sure that what he just said is like, okay. I'm just looking at him with squinty eyes, so, you know.
He seems like he wants you to ask questions about what you're doing.
He's a conspiracy theorist.
Basically, yeah.
You mentioned the Ashen Shadow having bad things in store for us. What is that about?
Well, if you're working with them, then you could come across some very questionable jobs.
Rhodes looks a little uncomfortable, remembering the coin that we recovered for Raffi.
All I'm asking of you 6 is to go into everything with a little bit of suspicion. And if you see anything wrong with the status quo of this government, then come back to me.
What do you know of Nori Evermist?
I need to look into some notes here.
Sure.
What does class know about Nori Vermis?
That's a name I haven't heard in a minute.
Sorry to drop this on you out of the blue.
All good.
And what do you know of James Periwinkle?
He's making up names too.
Yeah.
Ah.
He's a halfling, though. Because Periwinkle feels like a very halfling name.
It does.
Kind of check would this be? I can't say I know anything about Nori.
It was a bit of a stretch, but I figured it
Insight
out.
check.
On who?
If he was lying, but I failed.
I rolled an 8, so
I rolled a
believe-
worse.
You see confusion on his face.
Okay. Just an old hero of legend. It's fine.
Really? Can you elaborate?
She was the first to drink of a tear of Alar and forged an alliance with the Leviathans of the Great Seas.
Huh.
In the representations I've seen lately, the Shadow Emperor had a corrupted tear of Alar, and I thought maybe an enthusiast such as yourself might have picked up on that connection.
I didn't know that. But thank you for the story.
It's not even scratching the surface, but you're welcome.
I think I'll look into it more. And he has, like, seems a little, like, lost in thought, kind of, like, going over, like, kind of trying to remember the name and, like, filing it away to look up more information later. The dessert is had, and at the end of that, you see Zeus stand up from his chair. Well, thank you all for joining me for dinner. I appreciate all you have done for the town of Harkmire. You have made this town safe again. And should you return, you will always have a nice place to stay and a warm hearth.
We thank you for your hospitality.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
It's been an eventful day, so I'm sure you're all tired.
Oh, aye.
Yeah, quite.
If there's any extras or leftovers that you would like to take with you, Winstead will package it up for you.
You did promise that scroll.
And did you have any extra servings of the steak? The T-bone?
I would like a
did,
doggy
did
bag,
Flower
please.
did Flower order the
Yeah,
steak?
Flower. That's true. Flower kind of pushes her steak toward Wake.
Perfect. Just give it to
And
her.
you said something about a scroll. Are you talking to Perseus or?
Yeah.
Yeah, at the end of last session, he promised to comprehend languages scroll to Thrym.
Oh, I did. Um. Ah, and you see Peter like digs into his robes. Ah, here you are.
Oh, thank you, Master.
Of course. And he slides it over the table. Oh, once again, thank you all for coming. Peter and I have some private matters to discuss now. Ah, yes, yes. You all have a lovely evening, and I hope to see you all again. And you see both of them exit through a different door that you entered. So, you say Winstead is packaging up leftovers, anything that you would like to take with you.
The
You
painting or the mantle.
You seem to be left alone in this room for the time being with Winstead. Is there anything anybody would like to do or say anything?
Okay, Hugin is going to, or Thrym is going to hack into Hugin and try to figure out where they went and see if he can listen in on their conversation through Hugin.
Oh, nice.
Ah, okay.
I think there's things Rhodes wants to say, but inside this house is not the best place to have a conversation about all the stuff we just right.
Yeah,
so he's
same.
like,
I agree with that.
All right. I need Hugin to roll a perception check and a survival check.
Well, the
Okay.
survival is good.
Well, yeah, it kind of the survival kind of hinged on rolling well for the perception. Hugin can't find where they went off to. But he has a good lay of the manor.
Is it in a nice manner?
It is.
That's nice.
It's probably
Good for
the nicest house here in Harkmire.
That
But
does
is
not
it
surprise
nicer than Zira's house?
No.
That's what I gotta know.
No.
Okay, all right, just checking.
me. Okay, yeah. Good call.
So, leftovers are wrapped up, and I assume you all file out back towards the
Yeah.
Hush Mug.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Why did I think we were staying here?
yeah,
I'm glad we're leaving. Yeah.
yeah, we're staying at the inn.
Yeah, don't want to stay in this dumpster hole.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The water
Not
is
as nice as my
bad.
house. I'm just
The water
kidding.
is bad. Why would
Water
you
is
stay?
So, you all head back to the Hushed Mug after a very untrusting evening with Perseus. It is late. That dinner took a couple hours of tense conversation. Is there anything you guys would like to do before getting a long rest?
I'd love my spell slots back.
I think a long rest is priority.
Okay.
All right.
So
yeah.
Sounds good.
Hopefully no one gets murdered.
Yeah, I'm a bit tired. Let's all talk about this in the morning.
all right.
Uh.
You all head to bed. And you get a nice long rest after a fun-filled day. You can go ahead and
Hooray.
hit that.
Hey, spell slots.
Sorcery points, I say weepingly.
Sorcery points.
Sorcery points.
You awake to a very hearty breakfast that is already made for you by Gideon.
What kind of breakfast?
Everything. Everything you can dream of.
Yes.
What can I dream of, class?
Breakfast
I think that's on you,
food.
bro.
Stop. Yeah.
Oh my god, we've described so much food this session. Can we not?
Oh yay, a morning
That's why I didn't
bun
describe it.
with jam.
Did we say we had to stay another day? I can't remember.
You stayed the night.
They stayed
Is
the
that all he
night.
wanted from us?
That's all he wanted from me. He wanted us to go to dinner.
All right, let's get the fuck out of here.
Stay for the
Yeah,
end.
seriously.
More murders happen. Oh wait, shit. We said we were gonna look into that fucking crypt.
Did we? The Flowers like no.
Like, I'm sure
Oh,
they can.
I feel
They paid
There
us.
might be
They paid
treasure
us.
in there.
They
There
paid
might
us.
be
We're
treasure
done.
in
They
there.
paid us and we're finished, and we can go home. We can go back now.
treasure stealing from dead bodies. That's
Yeah, I
the kind
was
of treasure that's down there.
about to say, like,
Well,
if
I
there
guess
is
it's really
stuff,
on them to figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
It's their town. Yeah, they'll be fine.
I think we eat breakfast and start getting ready to go. We have a cart, right?
All right. You walk outside and everybody's dead. I'm just kidding.
Oh shit.
Good. Fuck the
Oh
town.
my god!
No, you start getting ready to head back to Aegis. I believe that's the plan, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Well, travel back to Aegis is going to be easy, as you know the way. You're familiar with the road. So,
Can we have a little talk as we're going?
yeah.
Okay.
So, I don't know what precise plan was with that. What
Whatever
does
it
he
was,
expect? We aren't going to tell the syndicate that there's some guy down here trying to overthrow the king?
we're going to tell Raffi too, of course.
Should we? Oh,
Well, he was in
I'm
his safe house, was he not?
That's true.
Of course we are. We still have one more job to complete, and that's telling Raffi what happened, probably including this.
Did he not expect us to do that, though?
I think he expected us to trust him, or if he did, he was trying to. I don't know. Everything he did clumsily.
Sorry.
bless you.
So either he's trying to.
Oh, you muted there, Flower. Flower? Uh-oh.
Just cut out completely.
Really
Sorry,
weird.
my cat and I had a brief struggle.
Okay.
Oh, bad.
What was I saying? Everything he did clumsily, and I can't decide whether he's just clumsy or he was trying to make us think he's clumsy. But in either case, we should clearly tell Raffi everything. And the syndicate.
Of course, we should definitely tell the syndicate. And I think we should watch ourselves.
He
with
also didn't say
jobs.
not to tell anyone.
He didn't.
Should we tell the syndicate? I mean, he said that we should be on the lookout for weird things, and if we tell them, then they might know that we're onto them. And like, what if there is something to what he's saying?
Yeah, should we wait to tell? That doesn't seem right. Oh, I don't know.
I don't reckon we should lie to our employers for the sake of some raving lunatic in the boondocks.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, I don't know if it was just me, but I really couldn't find any sign of malice or deception.
That's what's bothering me as well. He seems to believe everything he's saying is true.
I don't know this place well enough to come right up with an individual who's about a rebellion or revolution. But if this place is in need of something new, we should start looking for those signs, eh?
I
Yeah.
don't think there is anything wrong with being cautious.
From what I saw in the outlying lands around Aegis, everyone seemed to be, well, content. The guards, I will say the guards in the guardhouse was a bit of a shambles, and that's, a government agency that we had to help. But the
True.
actual common folk I saw around, they seemed fine.
Yeah.
He really seems not to trust royalty for some reason, and I don't know about the kings and queens here, but the fairy queen in the Sealy Court is wonderful. There's nothing inherently wrong with royalty.
The worst thing we've done.
And there's definitely nothing wrong with the elite.
Right.
The worst thing we've done since we got here, I think, is probably that coin that we got for Refi. That was not a good coin, and I don't know what's going on there. We didn't really ask.
I think we tried to, but
They
he
wouldn't tell us.
say. I definitely think we should proceed with caution, but we should definitely tell the syndicate. Besides, I think Perseus can handle himself.
That's true.
He probably expected that we would tell, at the very least, the syndicate.
Of course. Aye. We should absolutely tell them. We do work for them, after all.
That's true. But perhaps we can keep Perseus, keep his name out of this, and tell Refi that the apostles are behind the safe house issue. It's not lying.
Sounds good enough to me.
I think.
But
I'll
I
just
will
be
say a
quiet.
word of warning. Just because a man trusts in his own convictions does not make him a righteous man.
That's true.
Well said.
Very true.
So we're leaving, right?
Oh, we're on our way.
Yeah,
We're on the way.
I assume
Hooray!
you're having this conversation on horseback in the cart, on your way out of Harkmire towards Honor Road, and let's go ahead and get, for the first day of travel, a D100 roll.
Sure.
I already did it.
I'll put these away then.
Everybody's like, yes, I will roll.
I haven't done it in a long time, so
Go ahead and roll, Echo.
Okay.
we're all rolling.
Oh, are we all
Surely
rolling?
This is.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's gonna be
that-
a few days of travel, so I'll just take these in order.
Oh, okay.
95.
All right, Wake is 95 years old.
Oh my god.
That's the effect of travel.
I think Trim and Zira
Give you
are both
5
technically
years.
older, actually.
I might be a bit on in my head.
Zira's super old, probably.
I think
Right?
we
Zira's
said that we're
super
both
old.
120, right?
Well, compared to us.
That sounds right.
Give me one moment.
I suppose Thrym could be older.
Oh, we're the same age. Me and Zira.
100 something.
120-ish.
Nice.
so still young.
Till young.
I'm gonna be right back.
Okay.
Then I'll be left front.
All right. Oh, that's the wrong one. Damn it. Okay. So, with a 25, your first day, roll me a d8, Rhodes.
Okay.
Okay.
Foe.
It's actually kind of cloudy today, and the first part of the road on Honors Road that you come across, it has a lot of shade. Lots of trees kind of providing cover from the sun that, well, if there was any sun. But this one particular stretch of road that had a lot of like branches overhanging the road, roll a d6.
Oh my gosh, so many rolls, class. Is it Charlie? Has Charlie returned?
Bug.
Oh, okay. Well, Rhodes, are you riding
back.
in the cart?
If there's room, sure, yeah.
Okay. You feel a bonk on the top of the top of your head.
My hair.
Wake, with your high perception and anybody else who has a perception of like 15 or higher, see this acorn just drop down on Rose's head and bounce into the seat right next to you.
Oh,
What's this?
it's an acorn.
You
Kinda
look
Read about him.
knocks on it a little bit.
Yep.
It's got something rattling around in there.
Hey, in a nutshell, it's a tree.
Oh, there's a tree in here?
Hey,
Fuck off.
He's so small.
You look up to where it came from, and you see a squirrel just kind of darting away up into the branches.
Wow. Nature is so beautiful.
That's the event of the day.
Wow.
He'll
Slow
put the acorn in his bag.
Save that for later.
Eventually you travel far enough to where the horses need a break, and you find a camp for the night. And well, we'll pick up on your first night. Go heading
Who's
back to
this?
Aegis. Oh, sorry. She's not here anymore.
okay.
We'll go ahead and pick up on your first night traveling back to Aegis. So, like with every session, let's end the session with an RP vote. And we'll start with Sin.
Shoot, this is hard. I'm gonna give it to Rhodes this week for keeping the pressure on during the conversation. And like, why would you do that? Like about the mask, like just that whole Like that was good. It was so in character, and like we got a lot out of it. And I felt like I wasn't saying a lot at all. So like without people like Rhodes, we wouldn't have gotten much at all.
Oh,
So there you go.
thank you.
Yeah.
All right. Echo.
It's just pressing him on his shit.
Well, let's see. There were a lot of things I liked. The elitist jokes were great. Zero.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
I'm gonna give it to. I am gonna give it to Zero because it, like, not only was it a joke, like, you played a character who grew up in nobility well, and you stuck to it the whole time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you that one.
Ah, thank you. Thank you.
All right. Emily.
I was also going to give it to Zero for exactly this reason. And I
can't
and, you know,
now.
well, actually, yeah, I can though.
Yeah, you can.
I can. But I think the other person I was thinking about actually was I really liked that question of that Wake asked about, well, what would you have us do if you hired us? To kind of like as like an angle of getting him to tell us something. I thought that was a really slick question, so I will give it to Echo for that question.
Okay. Asenji.
Yeah, I was actually also thinking of the same thing with Zero. But I'll tweak it a little bit so that it's not the exact same thing. Really just changing the way she behaves as soon as she enters an environment like that, and like starting by dismissing the butler, like, no,
Yeah,
we don't want
amazing.
drinks, like, get out of here. It gave a good insight into her character and upbringing, I think. So
All right. Gannon.
All right. I want to honorable mention Flower, which was going to be my vote for just like not like eating beforehand and then just not eating at all. Like absolute
Yeah.
mistrust. But I really want to give it to Thrym for the line right at the end of the session here, where just because a person believes what they're doing is right does not mean they're doing the right thing. I thought that was really good.
Yeah, it was a really good line, and a really good Thrym line in particular.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. Pen.
I want to give it to Flower for continuously roasting Perseus's morals throughout the conversation.
To his face.
Yeah.
Me out of character being like, wow, Flower, I really hope he's not like an incredibly powerful sorcerer that's like probably
Who just snap and
that
murder
can,
you, yeah.
that can literally just murder you with power word kill or some shit.
Well, looks like Zira, you get the point of inspiration. If you're full up, then who do you offer it to?
She used one this session, so she shouldn't be full up.
I didn't use one this session.
Oh, Zero. Sorry, I thought you said Flower. Wow, my brain is not working.
It's all right.
Who has 0?
Hey,
I have 0 because of on account of using it.
Okay. I'm gonna give it to Pen because I know that you're probably gonna do the recap next time and get one. So I'm gonna give it to Pen this week.
Hooray! I have a chance.
All right then.
I'm gonna use that on something real stupid. I want you to know that in advance. It's gonna be like roll to pet an animal, and then I'm gonna fail it. But then
seducing Wake.
I hope you all had.
I'm definitely gonna need an inspo for that. I'm sure it's gonna be a very hard thing to do.
That's how we use all of our inspirations that we saved up.
We're all gonna seduce Wake.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
I
Got
hope.
a problem with that?
I hope you all had fun. And
Absolutely.
It was fun.
thank you all for playing with me. Hope
Thank you for running.
I hope you had a little bit of insight onto Perseus's mindset.
No, he's full of shit.
Maybe. But I'll see you all next week.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Sounds good.